Hello viewers, I'm Advocate here. Today I'm going to talk about the indemnity. Indemnity under section 124 of Indian Contract Act. So here I would like to tell you section 124 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines a contract of indemnity. It states that when one party promises to compensate another against the losses incurred by them due to anything done or omitted to be done by the promisor, a contract of indemnity is said to be made between the parties. The promisor comes to be known as the indemnifier, and the person to whom the promise is made is called the indemnity holder. Since a contract of indemnity is a form of contract, it must satisfy all the conditions of a valid contract as specified under section 10 of the Indian Contract Act. As per section 10, a contract is said to be valid if it fulfills the following conditions. Number 1, it must be made with free consent. Number 2, there must be an offer and acceptance of that particular offer. Third, this must become a promise or to do or so not to do something. Fourth, the promise must be made on a lawful object. 5, this promise must be made under lawful consideration. 6, it must be fulfill a legal obligation. 7, the contracting parties must be competent to contract as per section 11. Next, the person must be 18 years of age or above. Next, must be of sound mind. Must not be an undischarged insolvent. Then, must not be disqualified by any law in force. Then, it must be made with good faith. Then, it must not be disqualified by law of any territory. Now, when is an indemnity contract made? An indemnity contract is made when one party promises to compensate another party for losses incurred by them. This loss may be due to the act of the promisor himself or any other person. If the person insured by a contract of indemnity has fulfilled all the necessary conditions for enforceability of the contract and that followed all the instruction, laws and rules governing the contract, she becomes eligible for the compensation. Now, an indemnity contract is usually made as a contingent contract. It is likely an insurance which one party avails from the other for the future probability of events as security. Now, who are the parties to an indemnity contract? There are usually two parties to an indemnity contract. The one who promises to indemnify is known as the indemnifier. The person who is promised to be indemnified is called the indemnity holder. There is also third party, the creditor or the owner. This is usually the person who has the legal right against the object in consideration of the contract and can also sue for damages incurred by him or her. On them, does a case of enforcing an indemnity contract came into the picture. Now, what are the essentials of an indemnity contract? Firstly, since the indemnity contract is a form of a contract, as a result, it must fulfill all the ingredients of a valid contract as being mentioned under section 10 of the Indian Contract Act. It has been discussed above. Other essential lists can be follows as. Apart from section 10 of the Indian Contract Act, other general provisions of the law of contract are also applicable to an indemnity contract. There must be two parties to form a contract of indemnity. Those parties are called the indemnifier and the other one is called the indemnified or the indemnity holder. Second, a contract of indemnity is also compensate for losses incurred. Such loss must have been caused. It is essential to prove the occurrence of loss or damage. Third, such loss damage must be that one has to be promised to be indemnified and not any other. Then, such loss damage must be caused to the act omission of the promisor or any other person. Then, the act under promise must be contracted as done by individual. It does not include uncertain future events or events occurring without any human intervention, like an act of God. Then, it can be a contract of insurance except like insurance. Insurance contracts are a kind of contract of indemnity only. Then, the contract of indemnity must be absolute in nature. It must not be collateral to the happening or non-happening of certain events. An indemnity contract must be independent for all hindrances to its absoluteness. Then, it may be better an express or implied contract. The conditions, promise, objects and every other prerequisite must be in a clear and considered manner. hope you like my videos. In the next video, I'll tell you about the enforcement of a contract of indemnity. Till then, take care of yourself. And if you have any questions regarding the indemnity of contract, post the comments in the comment sections, and next time I'll come up with all your queries and resolve them one by one. Thank you.